Around 3 months back, my niece gave me a 2 a.m. call. She was a class topper. She had a dream job. She chased everything that we told her to. However, she missed one deadline. Just one. And what followed was, by midnight, she had drafted her resignation letter. She had multiple panic attacks. And she couldn't eat, she couldn't drink. And what broke my heart was, we drilled excellence into her for 18 years. But nobody, not once, told her what to do when excellence slips out of your fingers. And this is the pattern that I see very often around us. Let's check the other people around us. We have many Rahuls around us who do not know how to multiply compound interest and have credit card debt rolling for years. They do not know what LIC policy means. Wealth starts with them and ends with them. He earns, he spends, and he builds nothing. Then we have Ramesh, whose society funds just vanished. And everyone suspected that it was the secretary. But nobody did anything. He did not know how to file an RTI. He did not know how to organize the society people. Excellent academically, but helpless as a citizen. We also have Priya, great in leadership, and by 30, she is now managing a team of young colleagues under her. She is brilliant. However, after 6 months, the performance of her team tanked. Not because they did not have the capability, but what Priya did not build into the system was this empathetic setup which she missed when people could seek help when they needed. Because nobody taught Priya that empathetic systems are not soft skills. They are infrastructures. And what happens is, in all these stories that we have seen, we saw that we have built domain knowledge and expertise, but we forgot horizontal connections. We have inherited an education system which produces instruction followers, somebody who can flawlessly follow instructions. However, don't know what to do when they run out of instructions. Maybe this was the thing that was of the past. Maybe the aim of education today is also the same. Education was designed for certainty. But what about the world? The world runs on ambiguity. So it brings me to the question of how would it be different? Because we have seen people around all of us, right? We know everyone in our lives who around us don't know what to do when they run out of instructions. They don't know how to do if it doesn't fall under the manual that they have set for themselves. While searching and in my pursuit of understanding of how it could have been different, not from the space to copy-paste the solution, but definitely from the space to improvise and bring those things to a very, very close space in our land. Finland, for example, doesn't teach economics in vacuum. We have students who ask the question of why can't people in Helsinki afford rent? Your students are not just learning about supply and demand, but they are also learning about policy, urban planning, and what culminates into is the solution for all three of them clubbed together. Japan had Shikatsuka, where elementary kids, they serve lunch together, they clean their classrooms together, they maintain their shared spaces. And in all of this together, it's life learning. They are taught how to live life and how to think beyond themselves. Denmark has Klassen TID. These are weekly classes which are given to students where empathy and conflict resolution is practiced every day. Not just talked about, but practiced. And we all know that Denmark has highest social trust and it has the lowest corruption. All these systems were not built out of vacuum, but They were built out of individual citizens who felt the need to strengthen these systems. However, if we look at all these systems that are flourishing across the world, we come to a conclusion that there are multiple dimensions which make these systems work. And these three dimensions are probably missing in our system. The first one is personal capability. Recognizing when you are drowning, seeking for help, and this goes much beyond academic brilliance. Sitting with discomfort long enough for it to teach you something. Handling failure and being okay with it for yourself as well as for others. Second one is civic competence. Going beyond writing essays of democracy, participating in democracy, navigating government websites, following traffic rules, and coming together again as a community to solve community problems. The third one is generational responsibility. Understanding how compound interest works, breaking those bad cycles of debt and sustaining good ones to build generational wealth. Thinking beyond oneself is something that we all need. We are producing, our education system is producing individuals who are brilliant or excellent personally. However, the world needs collective problem solvers. We are very proud of the jugaad that we always keep doing, right? It's a brilliant way of improvisation under pressure or to fix something that's not correct. However, it's good for surviving crisis. But what gets me thinking, and probably we should all do that, is that what if we did not have to do it that way? And what if we thought differently to prevent these crises that we get into? For example, patching a leakage is different than innovating or redesigning a pipeline. Reacting to traffic is different versus planning infrastructure and managing chaos instead of systems, instead of then helping with systems which help reduce this chaos. The challenge is we are brilliant at the first one. But imagine if we become equally good at the second. Would it be different, and how different would it be? Because when we educate for personal success, we optimize for self. We get engineers who build beautiful gated communities, but we have public infrastructure which is crumbling. We have professionals who want to evade taxes instead of giving it back to the society. We have individuals who prosper, but collectively we are failing. But when people learn to cross or learn across these three dimensions of personal capability, of civic engagement, and generational thinking, something shifts. When we teach all these three dimensions, the flourishing, they understand that their flourishing is not separate than somebody else's. They understand that empathy without action is just performance. They understand that empathy with system is something that will bring transformation. And success is not what you get, but it's also about who you elevate on your way. The students who are sitting in the classrooms right now are going to inherit climate systems which require collective action, economic systems which require generational thinking, and democracies which need informed participation. Now the question is, are we equipping them enough? Coming back to the story of my niece and the 2 a.m. call, yes, she is doing better. She's learning what she had to learn at 14 because we missed on incorporating that syllabus of managing your emotions then. I, however, want the next generation to see us as somebody or people who had foresight, that we moved beyond factory models and rank lists, and we valued psychological safety over public humiliation. We taught systemic thinking and not just test taking. Between trigonometry and chemical equations, Let us also teach them that excellence and failure aren't opposites. We need to teach them that being a part of something is more important than just being best at something. And that building a life is something so much more and thinking beyond yourself. And that's the missing semester, the one that we forgot to teach, the one that we forgot to include in our syllabus. Imagine if we gave them tools for inclusive, functioning society and build it into their syllabus rather than just the syllabus that we have now. That's what foresight looks like, teaching systems over subjects, and that's the new SOS. Thank you so much.